All right, fire. Glinton thinks we're back with some fiery gingers. We got the founder of Sentinel Training, color commentator on the Sevon podcast, one half of Shut Up and Scribble, star of Taylor vs. the World and Kill Taylor, the ginger thumb himself, Mr. Taylor Self.
Thanks
There
for
you
having me.
go, CrossFit, Jason CF Media. I got you.
That was good, babe. That was a good one.
I put a little emphasis. I put a little bass back there. Let's go.
And I love your slowing down a little bit, emphasizing a little bit here, emphasizing there. Good job.
I'm trying. Let's go. Let's go.
What's up, guys?
Dude, crazy fucking weekend. Kill Taylor. I have not literally laughed from my diaphragm that hard for the last 3 weeks. Like insane. What is it when these dudes okay, fine. I'm geeking out a little bit, but when Sevon clicks these buttons and these dudes show up on the screen, like a girl can tell if they're gonna date a dude within 2 minutes of being around them. Can you look at them and be like, "Hey, no fucking way"?
I thought that I could until that fucking guy Matthew just destroyed me. I thought no chance, and then I saw his first round of GHDs, and I was like, "Oh boy, he's either gonna explode or he just smashed me." So
that was awesome though. That was the only dude that could beat you, and it'd be okay though.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like there would have been people if they called in and they beat me. I would have been really pissed about it, and don't get me wrong, I was not happy about that guy beating me, but. I feel like I'm not delusional enough to think that no one can beat me in any workout. I did get way too lazy with that one and maybe a bit too full of myself thinking that that would be a good one. And I had a couple people be like, that one's a little iffy. And I was like, no way. But
there's always going to be that one outlier, right? For like certain workouts that are going to fuck with you, but it's not a semifinal athlete. That's why I was like, no, it's fine. It's cool.
He smashed. It was crazy. Congrats to him.
It was awesome. Did you grow up on professional wrestling? Did you grow up on
WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched WWE a bit when I was really young.
Cause I was gonna say, like, you're that heel character that people like love to hate. Like you're like Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Like you're the original heel character, and now you got us all screaming Taylor 316. You know what I mean? Like we're all like, we want to wear your shirts. We want to like, was that kind of the intention where you like,
I don't know. No, that wasn't my intention. I don't think I was a fan of WWE long enough for me to really understand what they were doing. I liked it a lot for like 2 years. That's like all I watched was Monday Night Raw, WWE, John Cena, Triple H. Actually, one of my next door neighbors, his uncle is Batista. He's this young, this really young Filipino kid. So I was just obsessed with it for like 2 years, and maybe that had an influence on how I act, but I don't think
that's kind of how I see though. Like I see Sevon as like Triple H. He runs the show, kind of recruits everybody, brings everybody under his wing, and then like sets you off to be the champion of everything. So now you're like, Kill Taylor versus the world. You know what I mean? Like you got your own show. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of that Triple H character. Someone said you're Gold Dust. Rude, Jake Chapman.
Gold Dust. Hey, I used to actually, my favorite was Goldberg. That's funny.
Yeah.
Goldberg, bald dude. I think Sevon does a really good job of making you feel like you can be yourself. And that's probably why I get a little too lax on his show. Some people love it, and I have zero filter. But then sometimes, like my mom called me, she's like, "All right, I'm not watching another one of those shows." So I was like, "Mom, give me a chance. Give me one more chance." I was like, "Just watch next week with an open mind. I'll say the F word a little bit less. Give me one more shot." I don't want to be crazy over the top with it, but I feel so like Sevon does this thing where he doesn't even have to try to do it. I just feel so at ease in his presence that I just am exactly who I am when I'm around him.
What's the difference in nerves between Kill Taylor when you're going against, your friends, the people who are going to the semifinals, whatever, and then just Kill Taylor and you're just whoever shows up, shows up? Is there a difference in it? Are there any nerves? Do you?
There, yeah, definitely. I think the nerves feel pretty similar before something like that. Sorry. I'm still getting this freaking squirrel flu. I picked up a baby squirrel and I think that's what got me sick. I don't know.
Oh no.
Picking up animals in the wild. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, it took like 30 minutes and it bonded me. So it feels like a quarterfinal or like an open workout. It's like I definitely have nerves. I did say Saturday that I was like driving to the gym. I was like, wow, I'm the least nervous for this one. And I think I'm getting used to it. But I think that was just I was way too relaxed and that fucking guy beat me. So
Could you have gone any faster?
I wasn't reckless. I was not reckless in my attempt. He looked reckless. And so I think if I had been reckless, I could have been a few seconds faster. Sorry, I'm in the comments. Go
ahead.
Somebody said Hunter was slamming me again. Fuck Hunter, dude. He didn't even respond to me. I went hard at him. He called me a plumber, but whatever.
Oh, that's why that plumber comments are going around.
Yeah, dude. And I took the bait. I went after him, but he never responded. Whatever.
When you're doing this, right, and you're doing first, when you're going live competition versus Taylor versus the world, what's the difference in like nerves for that?
I would say it's even still pretty similar, which is a good thing because I'm getting some reps in and some practice with the nerves. I don't know how my nerves will feel at this semifinals because my approach and expectations are a lot different. I haven't been really training to compete this year until like right before the Open. And, it was like, all right, we're going to do Taylor versus the world in the Open. And like for 3 weeks before the Open, I was like, all right, I better get like really serious. And that's not to say I wasn't training hard. I just didn't have an eye towards competing. So I was only doing things that I wanted to do and that felt good. And that's a lot different than training to be good at everything, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I wasn't squatting a ton because I was still coming back from knee surgery. And there were things like 135 thrusters that still really made me nervous. And now semifinal workout 2 is 50 front squats at 225. And if you would have said I was going to do that, and I did the workout Sunday and it went so much better than I thought it would. And if somebody would have told me I would be doing 50 front squats at 225 a couple months ago, I would have laughed and be like, no way. So my expectations are just to go and have fun. So I don't know how much nerves I'll have. I'll probably have like some, but not like the internal pressure of like, oh, if I don't do well, you suck dick. Like that's typically how I feel in a workout if I don't do well.
Do you feel like that this is helping your mental game more than anything, doing these workouts and being live and having this type of audience? And, like you just said, from your knee surgery, you haven't really done too many things. Do you feel like that was once you got cleared with rehab and all that type of stuff, do you feel like it's been more of a mental growth that you've had to go through and then doing the workout and being successful at it does it ease it up a little bit, or you still feel like you're kind of battling that mental toughness that you need to be able to compete?
It's been that's a tough question. I think that in some ways it is mental, and in other ways I have probably run as perfect of a race as I possibly could have in terms of the rehab process and not pushing things too early and knowing it's way too soon for this. It hurts when I do it. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like prior to that open workout with 135 thrusters, the previous time I had done them, they hurt like fuck. And I was like, I'm not doing these. And I hope they don't show up in the Open. Then they showed up in the Open, and that was a month or 2 months later, and they felt great. And I was scared shitless of the workout. I was like, damn, last time I did these, they did not go well. I'm nervous. But then they went great. Then when that front squat workout was announced, like I have not been doing workouts with heavy front squats. And I was like, oh man, I'm really nervous. I did a workout with some heavy 185 front squats. Then I did a workout with some 205 front squats. Then I did the workout at 225 Sunday, and it went great. So in some ways it's mental, but I think this rehab process has been pretty like, I don't think there's been a mismatch between what I'm capable of and what I don't think I'm capable of. I think it's been pretty I've been able to have some pretty accurate self-assessment and self-appraisal, which is nice, and I think that's why I haven't had any, like, setbacks. Typically, setbacks, I think, come from me thinking, "Oh, I can do this," and really not being ready for it. And then I think I'm as fit as I am right now because I haven't been like, "Oh, I'm not ready for that," even when I am. Like, I've been able to take advantage of the things I can do, and pull back where I'm not able.
So would you say that you're trusting of and more patient in the process of this rehab and this healing that you have? And have you always been like that? Or are you a type of person that like you get an injury and you're like 2 weeks later, fuck it, I'm going to just go back and do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and try not to re-injure it? Is this a new kind of experience and journey for you in a rehab kind of process?
Definitely a new experience and approach. I don't think it's because of necessarily I don't really think it's because I've matured a ton. The last time I had the surgery, I kind of had that approach. I was like, fuck it, I'm going right back in. Same day of surgery, I'm going to move. This time like right after I hurt my knee, I was kind of like at a loss of what am I going to do with my life? So I started my program, and this time going through surgery, I've just had so much other stuff to prioritize that needed to be a priority that I didn't ever have this feeling like, oh, I have to go do this. I used to work out, like I used to do an obscene amount of volume because I just had to. There's nothing else to do. Now I have all this other shit to do. And that maybe is a double-edged sword. I think it's great because I'm not doing too much, and the things that I do, I'm going really hard. But then on the other side of that, like there are athletes that are full-time athletes, and I'm not a full-time athlete.
Hey, I remember you saying that you had like no intention of going to the games this year. Did Sevan and JR trick you into doing all this shit somehow? Or like, were you just like, no matter what, I'll do these shows? You know what I mean? Did they trick you into wanting to compete now?
I don't think they tricked me, and I still don't have they did not trick me. I was feeling good going into the Open. They're like, hey, let's do this for the Open. And I told Sevan, I was like, hey, there's a really strong chance that something comes out that makes me look like a dumbass that I just can't do yet. Like, this could happen. And I don't know if he believed me when I said that. And I really meant it. And there were things at the time that if they came out, I was not going to be ready for. That didn't really happen. I mean, I didn't shock the world on the last Open workout, but also it wasn't like I couldn't do it. And I just kind of rode that momentum. And then he was like, hey, let's do the quarterfinals. I was like, dude, there's going to be stuff that shows up in quarterfinals that I cannot do yet. And like, if you look at previous year's programming, there were things in quarterfinals that I would not have been ready for. Quarterfinals came out and I was just like, well,
Ready for it.
Yeah, I can do these things. And then I kind of felt the same way about semifinals. But they've come out and they are all kind of best case scenario. Like for a heavy squat workout, the 10 to 225 for 5 rounds is best case scenario. The heavy barbell workout snatch is best case scenario. And that's not to say that I'm going to be better than 11 guys and qualify, but I'm just going to, go and do my best. And I do not have the expectation to make the games. A lot of people think that I can, and I think that I can. But also I would be kind of delusional to sit back and have the expectation that I'm just going to not magically, but I'm just going to beat all these other guys who have been pouring their heart and soul into this for the past several years. I took a lot of time off, and I have no idea how I'm going to handle the 6 events. So,
hey, I picked you in the Heat 1 app, so putting it out there, and I picked Ellie Hill in the Heat 1 out, so I'm just putting it out there. Like, I'm putting it in the universe. Heidi Kroom, are Taylor and Colleen related? Probably. There's probably some Welsh blood back there that
Welsh. Wow. Are you Welsh?
Yes.
I think my family actually has a little bit of Welsh in them.
Hey, there it is.
That's crazy.
My maiden name is Culp, COLP, and my mother's maiden name is Rathburn. and Cornish. Those are the names.
That Cornish blood, baby.
Yeah.
And then the other one was
Tyler Wack. You're Welsh too. We did not figure that out.
Oh, we did not figure that out.
We did not figure that out.
Corey Leonard, that's exactly what somebody who was tricked by Sevan and JR would say. Absolutely, I agree.
And the other thing is I'm going to the West semifinal the week before and have already committed to doing Kill Taylor the Thursday before I compete, the day before. So competing is it's one of the several priorities that I have. It does not take precedence over, it doesn't take precedence over Sentinel. It's not going to take precedence over my ability to contribute to Sevan.
All right. Well, here, I was going to ask you this later, but fuck it. We'll go here now and revisit some other things. But I definitely was going to ask you, you are basically part of 3 shows, right? Shut Up and Scribble, Kill Taylor, and then you're committed to whatever shows that Sevan has you commentating on.
Mm-hmm.
You have a wife, you have Sentinel training, you're a coach, you're an athlete, you have all these things that literally can't happen without you there. How do you manage that? How do you make sure everybody has the time that they need? Because I know if I was doing all that shit, my wife would be like, you're gonna need to settle down a little bit. You need to settle down.
Yeah. That last comment. Lizzie, she's amazing. It can get hard on us. She's just amazing. So she's really supportive. I think she sees that a lot of the things that I'm doing, it's not just for me. I really want to do it for both of us so that we can have the life that we want. We rent a shitty fucking house right now and we would like to buy a house soon. We want to have a farm and kids and, just to be comfortable. Not necessarily always seek comfort, but to not live in financial insecurity. Right before I hurt my knee, I was trying to coach every class at our affiliate because I couldn't afford to pay rent if I didn't do that. And I had my boss at me, he's like, hey, you can't coach all the fucking classes, asshole. You got to find another way to make money. And so I and at one point, JR sent me $500. I was just talking to him about man, I'm just stressed out. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent this month. And he just magically $500 showed up in my account. And
damn,
he's a great dude, but I want us to be successful and I'm also really passionate. So I get things that I really, really enjoy doing and I care a lot about. And it's hard for me not to put everything into that. And I would say that's, 2 biggest places in my life. One, Lizzie, she's just the most amazing person ever. And I'm grateful that we met and that she's my wife. And then, secondarily, CrossFit generally, but then also starting a program and having a really amazing community. It's really hard to juggle those things. And I get really nervous and maybe even insecure sometimes about not doing a good job with certain areas because of all of them going on. I'm not being the best husband, or I fucked up programming this week, or, I had to pull back coaching at CrossFit Charlotte. Is Andy going to be pissed at me?
So what you're saying is you just have a group of people around you. I mean, let's shout out your wife, mainly your wife. You have a supportive wife. If you don't have a supportive wife, forget it. It's, but then you have JR, Sevan, all those people that are always there if you need things.
Yeah. And Andy, my boss at CrossFit Charlotte, he's incredibly supportive. I told him a couple weeks ago, I was like, hey, I got to go down to 1 class a day. I'm just overwhelmed. He's like, no problem. And I'm one of his main coaches. So it's not it's not easy. And today he's coaching 4 classes. So that's a lot. Definitely
Andy
have
Hendel,
people,
right?
Yeah, Andy Hendel.
Andy
Definitely
Hendel,
have people that are so supportive. Really good friends. And Bryson has been a massive help with Sentinel. So I'm really grateful that he is in Charlotte and that we've connected and that he wants to be a part of it.
So let me just ask, because you're talking about, we'll leave your wife out of this one. She doesn't she should not be involved in this one. But like this group of dudes that you have, right? And I'm gonna ask you a small funny question about your gentlemen's club group chat. How you guys are able to talk the way that I can view it when you guys talk about it on air is just like you guys are just raw, whatever. It's just truthful, honest. You guys are stupid, funny, have a great time, whatever. Can dudes just walk up to other dudes and be that way? Or do you actually have to like vet people to be able to?
Oh, it's 100%. Yeah, you got to be vetted. It's not, it's like, well, I mean, I don't know. It depends. It depends on the person. Like sometimes you just kind of know. And Judy put in the comments, locker room talk. It kind of is, but also it requires an ability to not take yourself so seriously. Like, you know, people who have some fragility, you can't make fun of them. And, you know, and it's, I don't know. I guess I kind of think it's a bad thing if somebody can't, you know, take a little bit of, you know, being made fun of or they take it too seriously. And there are, you also have to have some social awareness of when to do that. I think like we don't sit in the group and like hammer people, like all of us ganging up on people, unless sometimes I get hammered, but I don't care. I think, you know, it's not cool for everyone to gang up on someone, but also we all like poke fun at each other. The vetting process, I would just say, is everyone in that group we've got a lot of trust for.
It's just hard for me. Like, it's very cool. I have asked a lot. Like, I think I asked Chase. I've asked like Tyler. Bill. Yeah, I've asked Bill. Like, I love the way the guys talk to each other. And I completely understand why you wouldn't want women or non-vetted dudes in there because like, I get it. But I think it's fascinating the way that dudes can just like talk shit, go outside, beat each other up, and then go get a beer together and hang out and have fun and like get back to work the next day. I think that's cool.
I do think there are some people who have way less boundaries than others. In terms of like, you know, what's going to bother them. In terms of like verbal people making fun of me verbally, I don't really have any boundaries, but there are some things some people could say to me where I would like file that away and be like, I'm probably not gonna, you know, you're not going to be the first person I confide in if that's how you're going to make fun of me. But also, and then there are other people where like, I was talking with Sevon. He was like, dude, if somebody gave me a wet willy, I would be so angry. I can't remember who I was talking about. There was someone who was going to be at one of the semifinals that I didn't like. And I was like, I'm just going to fucking give him a wet willy in the warm-up area. And someone would be like, dude, that would be so disrespectful. And I'm like, what? No way. So people have weird boundaries. That's probably not a weird one. I don't know why that's not a weird boundary to me, but
did you see the Kevin Hart joke about like the bum like flick your lip? Like if a bum flicked your lip,
right
now you'd have to like just cut your lip off. Like, like it's over now. I can't do it.
That crosses the line.
Like you just have to get rid of that lip.
Yep,
it's over.
That's it. This relationship that you have with the guys, was it? I mean, obviously, Sevon is the leader. He's the one in charge.
Bum bump. That's what it is. A bum bump. Thank you, Crowbar.
Sevon's the leader. But did you guys find everybody from Sevon, or did you know somebody that you invited to come into the group and vice versa, like Chase, or like how did you guys all find each other?
I think it was just kind of happened really naturally. I won't say it was like this carefully crafted thing. I remember when Sevon was still very like apprehensive about like Hiller, when Hiller was just coming on the scene and they were kind of playing with each other back and forth. I don't think I invited
courting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think I remember telling Sevon when I did my first like programming show, it was on the 2021 or 2022 quarterfinals programming, and how it was just like a copy and paste exactly as the year before. I actually got in trouble from some people at CrossFit for that podcast. But I remember telling Sevon I wanted JR to come on the show with me and do it with me, and he hadn't had JR on before, and I don't know that you can credit me. I don't take credit for that. Like Sevon loves JR because JR is amazing at what he does.
Yeah, yes.
Mhm.
I don't think I really introduced anyone or brought anyone in, I would say. I think everyone who's in that group kind of earned their trust.
That's fair. All right, now that you took us off, let me circle back to where I wanted to go. That when you hurt your knee initially in the pig flip, right, at the ranch?
No, I heard it. I was skateboarding in 2019 before the MAC, the day before competition. I at that point in my life, I had like a lot of anxiety and nerves about it. So like I'm a big adrenaline junkie. And I've skated my whole life. So I was skateboarding, trying to like wear some nerves off, and I just fucked my knee up so bad. Had to withdraw from that competition, got a surgery, didn't fix the ACL. The surgeon just had a hard time with the surgery and the nature of the injury. So I basically like didn't have an ACL and had all this extra fucking hardware in my knee for a couple years. And that was causing issues, like repetitive issues, like small, like recurring meniscus tears and stuff like that. I don't remember hurting my knee at the ranch. I pulled my hamstring pretty badly. And because of how badly I pulled my hamstring, I didn't know, I couldn't really tell if, okay, I have some instability because I pulled my hamstring or what. But I don't think that caused it. I would say it was for sure when I had that skateboarding injury, I bent my knee backwards, tore my ACL, MCL, both meniscus, fucked it all up.
And you had surgery on it for that?
Yeah, I had surgery. It was a patellar graft ACL surgery and some other stuff with the meniscus. I have a picture. I'll try to look for it while we are talking. So I had a surgery. They tried to fix it. They did the ACL graft, but the doctor after surgery actually in the recovery room was like, hey, it was a really tough surgery. We did the best we could. It wasn't as perfect as I would have wanted it to be. Right. Kind of like saying things to me like, hey, whoa, dude, you're a pro. You shouldn't be fucking telling me it didn't go good.
Yeah.
So
how many? Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think that's, that injury is really kind of what I had been dealing with the past few years, and just the recurring nature. Like they repaired the medial meniscus, which from the research that I've done, typically if you repair a meniscus and that athlete is still taking the joint through a really full range of motion and putting a lot of pressure on it, a repaired meniscus just never, ever is as strong as the original. And typically for athletes that are going to stay super active, they just recommend a meniscectomy because the repaired meniscus is just going to re-tear and re-tear. And that's what I was dealing with a lot of.
Is that did you have more than one surgery on your knee or just the one?
I had a surgery when I was 16. And I never had issues with that. Like I felt like I made it was football, kid tackled me right in my knee. Had a hamstring graft, never had any issues with it, pistol squats, whatever. And then it was 5 years later. That was, let's see, in 2013. So 6 years later, I had that skateboarding accident. And I was just going like 30 miles an hour down the hill, didn't have a helmet on, got the speed wobbles, hit like a divot in the road, and just knew that if I didn't jump off, I was going to fucking probably crack my skull open. So I jumped off and my knee bent completely backwards.
Damn, dude.
Oof.
Yeah.
I was curious because you've always been like extremely, and I can't tell you how amazing this is, but you've always been extremely open about, your recovery and your sobriety. And I have friends that have also gone through it. And I was just kind of curious with surgeries and things like that, you being a professional athlete and like the pain that you might, or a hurt back or, anything, is it like you never take anything, or was it scary when they would prescribe you things, or did you have any worries about those things?
So all three of those surgeries I had in sobriety. The first one when I was 17, I must have been 17. I couldn't have been 16. I was like 17. I think it was in 2013. I had been sober like maybe a year. The surgeon was amazing. He was like, it's going to hurt a lot, but you can definitely do it without painkillers. So I did it without painkillers, and it wasn't crazy. And that was a hamstring graft. The one in 2019 where he had to do a lot of stuff with, not a lot of stuff, but he had to do more stuff with the bone, cutting into the bone. He was like, "You're crazy. You can't do it without painkillers." And I had like just read David Goggins' book. I had the surgery prior without painkillers. I'm like, you don't know me. I'm not taking painkillers. And I didn't. And that one was much worse, like way worse. Like I didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days. And then this one, similar to the first one, was nowhere near as bad. I didn't need the painkillers. There wasn't really any bone stuff. It was a 2-part actually. They took out, I just texted whoever texted me the link. I sent you the picture. I don't know if you can pull it up.
I don't know how to pull it up from the messages. I only know how to pull it up from Instagram. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
wait.
All of that on
It
the
is
gauze
big.
was inside my knee. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait, I saw that picture and I thought it was a joke.
No.
No,
Yeah.
I saw
Oh
it.
my God.
Yeah, it's all the suturing, like all the suturing you can see. Like he had tried to like wind that threading around the ACL graft to like reinforce it. Like, dude,
Holy
you
crap.
can't use yarn as my fucking ACL, bro. I'm not even a surgeon, and I know that. Anyways, yeah, crazy. Crazy enough that my surgeon was gonna take his personal phone out and snap a picture of that while he was in the OR. You know, so. Sorry, what was the question?
No, I was just going back to if you during your sobriety, if you had ever worried about having to take medications, or even Madeline brings up like the anesthesiologist or like
they tried to push so much shit on me. They actually, I think I was saying it was a 2-part surgery where I had a bone graft to fill in all of the like tunnels they had drilled for previous surgeries and removed all that stuff. And then they had to let the bone graft heal. And then I went in a couple months later into the ACL surgery. They like tried to pump me. They're like, "Hey, we're going to give you a fucking fentanyl drip for your nerve block and some Valium." I'm like, dude, can you just not?
yeah.
They really, I mean, they just don't even really try to get your consent. They're just like, "We're going to do this." And if you don't explicitly say no, they're just doping your ass up.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So you just said no, and
I was like, yeah, I was, well, on the, I can't remember which surgery, if it was the bone graft or was the one in 2019. I didn't know what they were doing before the nerve block, and they just did it. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm high right now.
oh shit.
Not like high, but like, okay, I'm definitely on a painkiller. What did you just give me? But the most recent one, yeah, I didn't take anything. It was explicitly like, don't touch me with any of that. And the nerve, I'll be fine. Like, just give me the nerve block. So they are relentless.
I was gonna say, when you said that they're like pushing it, like, so they give you an option and you say no, and then they give you another option. And like, how many options was it that you had to say no to, that they were just like, or every time you said no, it was like, you really should do this. You really should do this.
It was like 4 different layers probably. And I don't think they're like purposefully, from my perspective, it's like, are you stupid? I said no. But then from their perspective, it's like, they think that you need it. They think that you need it.
That you're really not going to make it through without it.
Yeah. Like, dude, sometimes shit hurts.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go through life without pain. And I get it. You're trying to make it comfortable. You're trying to make this process as easy as possible. But hey, I fucked my knee up. It's not going to be an easy process. Get off my fucking back about it. I don't want to, it is crazy. And especially when you tell them that like, hey, I'm in recovery. Don't mess with that. They just still are like, you need this.
So they did know you were in recovery.
Yeah. Oh, I told them all.
I mean, and there's probably not a lot of people in the world that will like go in there to have done what you were having done and just be like, "Hey, I'm okay suffering. I'm okay. Like if it hurts, I'm okay." Most people are like, "No, make it stop hurting. Make it stop hurting right now." So
yeah,
they don't even believe you that you'll be okay or you'll figure it out.
Yep, they don't. I will say I'm very grateful this past surgery. I like shopped around for surgeons after having that experience in 2019. I was like super skeptical of every surgeon. I talked with Rocket, the game surgeon, talked with 2 other surgeons. And fortunately for me, I had this guy, actually Andy's son-in-law, my boss's son-in-law is married to his daughter, works in like medical device fitment. So he's the guy who goes in with surgeons and like helps them, fit medical devices for a particular surgery. And he was like, hey, this guy just moved to Charlotte. He's from Pitt. He ran their entire orthopedic, I don't know, I can't remember what they call it. It's like their whatever fellowship program. Like he was the board, the chair, the board, whatever. And a super, a young guy for a surgeon too, like late 40s, to be the board of their like sports orthopedics program, the chair of the whatever. And his specialization was ACL revisions. So not first time, but like second or third time ACLs. And I met with him and like had like 2 or 3 appointments where all I did was like ask him questions. And he was amazing. And he's just such a pro. And not only that, what sold me on it was Luke, my boss's son-in-law, was like, he's the most skilled surgeon I've ever seen. I go into an OR and I'm showing these guys how to use devices. When I go in with Dr. Croft, I'm just sitting back and trying to learn as much as I can because he is so skilled. Okay. And I think at that point I realized when I was hearing him talk about it, like, wow, there are levels to being a surgeon, just like there are levels to athletes at the games. Matt Fraser is not the guy who comes in 39th. It is so different, but they're both games athletes. Mm-hmm. So I think I realized that, and I was like, all right, I'm going to trust Luke. I had a bunch of consults with this doctor, and he was answering every question and made me feel like, hey, yeah, it's going to be your third knee surgery. He's got some miles on it, but I'm pretty confident you're going to be able to do most of what you want to do. And it's taken a lot of time, but I am. So,
hey, I was talking to Ellie Hiller like a week or so ago, and we were talking a little bit about how, sometimes when you're like, you give up one addiction for another addiction, meaning like whatever addiction you have for this CrossFit addiction, right? Like it's way more healthy for you. Obviously, it gets your life in a better place. And then I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about the 12-step program. And then I was kind of thinking about like what CrossFit offers you. And it offers you like structure, rules, consistency, community, something to believe in.
Accountability.
Yeah. Like it kind of does give you everything, right? Like, church would give you, or the 12-step program would give you, or like, can you see it like that a little bit? It's kind of,
I think the best, I would say the biggest parallel that I could draw is at the right meetings, you find the right people who you should surround yourself with and who can pull you out of the gutter because they're such amazing people and because they've been through it. And they are spiritually fit enough to where no matter how sick you are, odds are being around them is going to lift you up rather than you dragging them down. There are meetings you can go to where a lot of people are sick. And if you're not really fit, like, spiritually, being around these people, it's going to really challenge you. And there's, that's similar to CrossFit. A lot of the times at a lot of affiliates, you can find a group of people who are super high achievers, disciplined, caring, loving, amazing people. They want to do hard things. They want a community of people who are accountable and who check their egos at the door. And I would say that's the biggest for me. Really, the biggest for me was finding CrossFit Charlotte and the culture Andy has there, because the group of people as a whole, from top to bottom, every member, it's just people that are good, and that being around them, you're going to learn something. You're going to become a better person. You're going to have a place to go if you need help.
Yeah. And how each other feels too, right? Like you said,
yep.
Like you went
shared
together.
suffering.
Yeah. You suffered together. You know how you felt during Fran. You pick each other up when one person gets time capped or whatever, and they're really trying to make, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that awesome, like community feel. And yeah, I was thinking about that. And I was like, damn, CrossFit really, like the methodology and the community in the affiliates is just, it's fire. It can save you as well.
When you started your recovery, did you start it at CrossFit Charlotte first?
No, I got sober in Virginia, and I was sober maybe 4 or 5 years before I found CrossFit. I started working out when I got in rehab. I remember being in rehab. I couldn't even run for 10 minutes straight on the treadmill. And like, it was really fucking hard. I remember being on the treadmill and be like, damn, like you can't even make it 10 minutes, you fucking pussy, like in my head, and not like continuing to go, but like stopping and be like, damn, you fucking suck, dude. Crazy. And so I would like, we'd have this 60-minute session where you had two options. You could like use the crappy weights facility. We had like a couple treadmills and elliptical, or you could play pickup basketball. And most of the time I would like opt to play basketball. And then sometimes I would try to, work out. Then I got out of rehab and I went back to school, high school, and I played football. So I started working out more with the football team. And then when I tore my ACL the first time was really when I was like, holy shit, there's all these things that I never knew I wanted to do until I couldn't do them. And that made me really want to start working out. So really that first like ACL injury, I started working out a ton. And then I just found like a CrossFit gym on a Facebook or an Instagram ad. Yep.
That's awesome.
I had done it. Sorry. One time prior with my sister, she took me, I got destroyed by everyone. It was rope climbs and deadlifts, and I didn't go back for a year. Then I saw an Instagram ad and I was like, I'll try it again.
Mm-hmm. You've been back ever since.
Yes.
So a lot of times when you talk, you share that nerves or anxiety and anxious. Do you feel like that has been part of your sobriety journey? Do you feel like you were always anxious, or is it certain situations that you're just more nervous about, or kind of like you said, when you were, going in to get your next surgery, it's like, maybe it's not so much nerves, but maybe trusting or skeptical?
I don't necessarily think, I've never considered those two things being relatable. I don't think, maybe the anxieties that I had prior to getting sober were like, I don't really know who I am. Other people don't really know who I am. If they knew who I truly was, they probably wouldn't like me anyways. I got to get fucked up to escape all this. I didn't feel the most anxiety I felt in sobriety were around things like, okay, I'm going to go to this meeting. What do I say if they call on me or if I'm asked to share? I kind of grew out of that through being around people who are really accepting, regardless of how stupid you make yourself sound or how bad you think the things you did were, they're accepting. In CrossFit, if I have nerves or anxiety around a workout, it's typically like, I know it's going to be very painful. And I'm like, what if I quit? That's typically where the anxiety comes from. I despise nothing more than me quitting. And I don't want to do that. And I still have fear that like, maybe I'll just fucking throw the towel in.
Is that your main, what drives you is not quitting, is not like for anything, not even just your sobriety, but just like, hey, I'm like, even when in that box jump in the Taylor versus the World, where like, you weren't quitting, you fell the fuck off that box, and it was so powerful to see you get back up and keep going. It really was.
Thank you. I don't know, maybe a small part of it. I don't want to quit. I used to be such a quitter. Everything. Like if at the moment something got the slightest bit difficult, I was like, I'm out. It's not going to work. So I definitely, that's part of it. I also like strong words or like an ethos to live by, that I've grown to like hold really important is just doing the right thing. And I, for me, quitting just because something is hard is definitely not the right thing. And, trying to do my best, regardless of how hard something is or how poorly it's going, is also doing the right thing. So I think maybe it's less not quitting, but more I just want to do the right thing and do my best. And if I quit, I'm not doing my best. There's in no world is that my best. Failing's fine. And I failed the fuck out of that workout. But I did my best. I did my best.
You kind of showed a lot of people, like, because I know that I felt that way. You know what I mean? Like I've never been able to do CrossFit to the level that you've been able to do it. But even me just trying to get 50 unbroken double unders. Yeah. And I freaking want to throw up at that last like 42 mark and I miss it by like 5. Like I know what that feels like. It sucks. And
Mhm.
I was training so hard for those 50 double unders. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I get it. It was cool to see. I know I only have you. I don't want to keep you too long because you're an important man right now in the space.
Everybody wants your attention.
But I did want to ask you. So I remember you hurting your knee at the ranch. I remember you going on Savon and talking about that, and it was all sorts of fun. You were hysterical, and it was great. What gets you from that and your training and then all of a sudden I see you on every single podcast, everywhere, sitting on a bouncy ball, like talking into a microphone. So when do you go like, hey, all in on Media Space?
I didn't really think I've had this moment. Well, when I was invited on Savon, I've like always loved, I didn't even know I loved him, but I was obsessed with Road to the Games, behind the scenes, all that stuff, like a lot of people. So when I got asked to be on his podcast, I was like, holy shit, this is the guy that
Make the card, Wad Zombie. Make the card. We'll buy it.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the guy that shot all that stuff, and it would be super cool. And then I went on. And then, you know, they asked me to go on at a different point, and I kind of remember feeling like actually having the conversation with Lizzie and be like, hey, like every opportunity I get to go on, I got to take it. Like this is going to be the right thing for, you know, whatever fucking career I had.
Up doors.
Yeah. So I remember having that conversation, but there were times where I think more than anything, the reason I've fit in so well is with him. I don't think, you know, he doesn't have to try that hard with me most of the time. I'm really like, I pretty much am an open book and I can talk about anything. And I think that comes from being sober. And I think that comes from, you know, one of the sponsors that I had for the longest time. A guy named Alex, he's probably not gonna listen to this, but you know, he was the first person to like make me feel like, hey, no matter what you've done, no matter who you are, I love you and I'm here for you. And so that gave me a lot of confidence in who I was and that I could just be myself. And if people didn't like it, fuck them. And if they do like it, great. And I think that attitude and me being able to just fully be myself, Savon likes to have me on. I think he really hates it when people come on and they're guarded. And they don't work, you know, they don't even try to share what's real. And I just want to be 100% real. I've found the most fulfillment in life through that.
Mm-hmm.
What does your wife say about your YouTube persona? Does she watch you? Or does she
this is the thing. It's not a YouTube persona. This is the household. Even same with my mom. Like I'm a bad influence on them when it comes to like vulgarity and the shit I say.
You just walk around the house all day being like, Hillary, eat a dick.
Yes, literally. I mean, that stuff is not like, that's just kind of how I am. I rein it in a lot around family functions with Lizzie's family and with my extended family. I don't rein it in all around my mom. She 100%
knows who you are.
Yeah. And she
loves you for who you are.
Exactly. And she's hilarious too. But she does say like, hey, you could sometimes when I'm like slinging the profanity too much, my mom's like, dude, she's like, I'm just not going to listen. I had to, she said that to me the other day on the phone and I was like, please give me another chance. I don't want to be hard to listen to. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I take that feedback. Someone commented, they were like, man, it was too hard to listen to. And I was like, damn, I don't want them to like not be able to listen. So.
Oh, not on Kill Taylor. Kill Taylor is fire.
That's the place for it, right?
What did you say to that guy? Like, you're not circumcised or you are circumcised?
I don't know. I said a lot of things. I was pissed.
Something was said. Do you
I just wanted to
Good.
I just wanted to express my emotions rather than shut down and be like, you just got beat. You fucking suck. Because it was either that or I was going to fucking just roast him.
Just put your head down and just like, fuck.
No, that was fire. It was, yeah. Keep the fire. Zach Smith, keep the fire. Yeah. It's great. I love Kill Taylor. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure. Do you find freedom in being able to be yourself?
I do.
You know, versus, you know, before you were saying that it was that fear. And I think we all have that fear at one point in our life of like wanting to be liked by everybody, wanting everybody to see us for who we are and not have to change or not have to walk on eggshells because we're scared that we're going to say something or do something that someone's not going to like. Do you find freedom in that now? Because I feel like for Garrett and I, we're finding that sense of freedom to be able to communicate how we feel and our beliefs and stuff like that, of kind of coming out of this bubble or tunnel vision, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And being okay. The freedom comes with being okay that not everybody's going to like you. Do you feel like you have found that freedom with, like, you're like, hey, this is who I am. And honestly, the only person in a space like this that you would listen to if you were too much would be Sevan. It's his platform, it's his space and whatever. But do you feel like you have found that sense of freedom of just, this is who I am, and love me or hate me?
Hate me. Yeah. I definitely in that, but I think also a big part of it comes from, I know that not everything I say is going to be the right thing, and that not everything I say is going to necessarily be in line with my values. Like, I'm not perfect. So sometimes I'll say things and I'm like, damn, that was kind of fucked up what I said. And I think that while I'm not always the first to admit it, if someone can make me aware of something I said wasn't cool, like that lady commenting, hey, it was hard to listen to. Maybe other people disagree, but I don't want to be hard to listen to. So I'm going to take the feedback. I think a big part of it as well is I'm 100% okay with being wrong. So I'm okay with saying, all right, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have said that. I'm okay with being like, all right, that was probably a little too far. And I think what also holds a lot of people back is they're scared to be wrong. They're scared of being put in the position of having to say, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I've been wrong so much in my life. I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit callous to it. Sometimes I feel like I'm callous to it. I'm like, man, you're fucking wrong again.
Yeah, Judy. Yeah, you're right. We're all a work in progress. Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. It's going to, I talk about all the time how, like, I just got out of, like, my liberal haze. Like, yeah, I can say, fuck, I was wrong. If you scroll through my Instagram, you can find, like, and it's recent. It's like in the last, like, 4 years, like, I was fucking wrong.
That's crazy. My most, the biggest parallel I can draw with that is when the whole Glassman thing was going on. I was like, Andy, dude, I think you need to post a black square to the CrossFit Charlotte Instagram page. He was like, what the fuck is that going to prove? This was like where I learned a big lesson in life. He was like, dude, Andy's the first person to help someone in need. He's fucking walk-on football guy in the 80s and 90s, grew up in New York. Why does he have to post a picture to prove he's not racist?
Yeah.
Like, and he said that to me. He was like, I'm not fucking posting anything. And it was me and him talking to each other in the office. And I'm like, dude, I was like so scared if you didn't post anything, all our members were going to leave. And at the time I'm like, 23, 24. I don't know shit about fuck. And he's like, he looked at me. He's like, nah, fuck that. I'm not fucking posting anything. Just be patient. And he's like, just give it a couple days. And no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, a big lesson for me to learn that, like, hey, it's, I don't know. That just taught me, like, I didn't need to be so reactive to people saying, oh, you better do this, you better do that. And that really kind of turned the tide of me being super anti mob.
Don't tell me what to do. Yeah.
Anti-mob and anti-authoritarian. Yeah. Like when the group and the mass are trying to push you in one direction, now I get so squirmy.
Yeah, I don't do it either. It was the same thing. That time period was the time period for me where my mind started to switch too. And good for you. You were way younger than me. I was in my late 30s. So good job, homie.
Well, I had to have somebody tell me I was a fucking and I'm nice.
Me too. It was Sevan that told me I was a fucking
That's crazy. I mean, kudos to you for being able to shift. I think it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And I made my mom cry on the phone over the COVID vaccine.
Oh my God. Really? Why? You told her not to take it or to take it?
I told her not to take it. This was, a few years later. And I think she was also trying to get me to not even take it, but to get a test. I was so
just a COVID test.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not taking a test to come home.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just want to see my son for my birthday.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. It was fucked up.
Mom tried to get you to come home.
Yeah. I went home. I took the test, but just a crazy.
It's been a roller coaster. Like the last 4 years, and even this year, it being a election year, it's just gonna be fucking crazy until November and all kinds of shit. So
yeah, super crazy.
So what do you guys do? What are you and your wife doing leading up to because you're flying out obviously to West Coast and then
Right.
do you have to fly immediately back for
Yeah, I leave next Wednesday to go to Carson, then I'll fly home on Monday. I'll be home Tuesday, and then we'll drive
oh
to
we fucked you.
Knoxville.
August Link is gonna tell on you.
It's a black square guy.
Sorry, bro. It's okay though. We figured out what was wrong and we fixed it. It's fine.
Hey, I told someone else to post it. That's it. Okay. And he didn't even, dude. That's hilarious. I just, oh man, that conversation was so funny, and it was all out of fear.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
was all out of fear. How crazy is that?
You just don't want to be called fucking racist. You don't want to be called a homophobe. You don't want to be called like whatever. And it's like,
Who? I feel like I don't know shit again, but man, like if you really believe you're better than someone because of the color of your skin, you're fucked up. And I feel like that's so less common than what people make it is. But maybe I don't know. I mean, no one I surround myself with thinks they're better than that. You know, that's just fucking retarded.
no, and you can't fear monger me into I feel like I'm homophobic or I'm racist. Like fuck you. I'm not you can't make me feel bad. Like you don't have any power over me anymore.
Yeah.
But that's what they use. They use fear with everything.
It's crazy.
With
it's
every
so
single
crazy.
thing. But that is how you get the masses to move.
Yeah.
You're gonna put a bunch of fear in a bunch of people. And like for us, we did a podcast on it about how a family lost their child because they wouldn't transition them.
Yeah. That's a big one happening right now.
And so as a parent, I'm like, the government is trying to take or could potentially try to take my kid away. Now I'm scared. Now I'm terrified that something's going to happen. But it's like you have to, like you had said earlier, you can't lead with emotions. We can't lead with chaos because that's when you make irrational decisions. Yep. Taking that time to slow down and process what actually is going on, read more, educate yourself more, really see what's going on and do your very best to protect your kid the best way that you can. But if it's on the news, if it's on Instagram, you say it once. We're talking about it now. All of our phones are here. We're going in our algorithm. That's what we're going to have. We're going to have all of this shit in our stuff. And it just makes you scared. And so when you're scared, you either react and project or you close out, you close in and you shut down. So it's like, that's what they want for us, and that's why you have to slow down a little bit. And that's what her and I are really going through. And it sounds like you're going through that too.
Yeah, we're about to homeschool our kid. We've talked about this.
Me and Lizzie want to when we have kids to homeschool.
You're in North Carolina too, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're good. You're not a sanctuary state. We're a fucking sanctuary state. They could take your kid away if you don't want to affirm their fucking gender right now. Yeah, the doctors can make the decision for the kid.
Yep.
What?
I think I just saw in Colorado, I just saw on Instagram earlier that that they passed legislation for schools that teachers and counselors, haven't read the details, so don't quote me on it, but that teachers and counselors can go ahead with children transition and leave the parents out of it and not tell the parents. And it's by law. They do not have to tell the parents what's going on. I
just don't understand how people don't get this is not the government's job. This was never supposed to be what the government's job was. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's what's been happening is that the louder that you scream, the more that you want the government to get involved, the more you want this law and that law and whatever. And I think what not everybody is realizing is that the more laws you have, the less freedom you have.
Yeah, no one's getting that.
No one's understanding.
And have you ever seen them argue? They just yell at you.
Dude, they just yell.
They yell nothing. It's just yelling.
Gosh, that's crazy. That makes me so angry. We definitely want to homeschool.
Yeah.
Even being in North Carolina, there's just, and also the sense that like, I want to be the best example possible I can be for my kids, as I'm 100% sure you two both. And so you feel confident knowing, hey, I'm going to teach my kid what I want my kid to learn. I'm going to be an example of what I want my kid to be.
Mm-hmm,
you don't know what that kid's teacher's into.
Yeah.
What they like.
And that's the thing. You have adults projecting their personal and political shit in a professional setting. When did that separation between professional and personal get blurred? And that's the problem, is that you can, as an adult, you can believe whatever you want at home.
Yeah.
But your job,
not with my kid.
Your job is to teach my son math, science, reading, writing. Why can't our kids write in cursive anymore? Why are you so worried about this emotional stuff that you're not teaching our kids that
They can't even
stuff?
read a regular clock.
Yeah, it's
They
crazy.
can't.
Like,
They can't.
so what I know, we always end up getting on this because it's just so ridiculous. And we're in New York and it fucking sucks. And now you got people like running into your homes and taking your house and you can't
That's
get them out of your
crazy,
fucking house. Like it's like
Bonkers.
what we should
Sev-
I should
Savon
pull
is
up-
watching us. Hi, Savon.
Is he really?
Yeah, that's what somebody said.
He's knocking the stream. Fuck you, Savon. Love
You
you.
want to pull up his live stream?
I'll see. Let me see if he's actually up there.
I got it.
Wow, this is like
Oh,
inception.
is?
fuck, he is. All right.
Pedro.
Fuck that. I'm a share. Ready? Hold on.
Oh, he waved at me.
This is crazy.
Motherfucker.
Inception.
Let's talk to him. Hold on. Share screen. Let's go.
There you go.
What's up?
Pedro.
What's that? I'm a share. Ready?
Shut up.
Wow, Peter. Peter.
This
is crazy.
Motherfucker.
Inception.
Let's talk to him. Hold on. Share screen.
Pedro.
What's
There you
cracking,
go.
homie?
What do you want?
Smile. What's up?
There'll be a
Nothing.
crazy,
We don't gotta wait.
there'll be a crazy
Yeah,
delay
there
now.
you
Oh my God.
Wow, Peter. Peter.
That's funny. All right, let me get out of here because I can't.
Let's talk to him.
concentrate.
Hold on.
I have
Pedro.
Greg C.
What's
They broke
cracking,
the
homie?
What do
matrix.
you want?
Yeah.
Just see,
There'll be a
share, and
crazy-
share, and
there'll
share.
be a
and
crazy
share.
delay now.
Has this
Wow,
ever happened before,
Peter.
Taylor? Is this
Peter.
only on when Taylor's on?
It is.
This is crazy.
Everybody wants to feel his tension. I told you that.
Pedro.
Greg C. They broke- They're jealous right now.
Dude,
We
we'll
win.
let you go.
We win.
Goodbye, guys.
Oh, that was really.
Wow.
So funny.
Hey, listen, I got 2 screens too, bruh. I upped my game. I got some shit over here. I got some shit over here. Like, we good. We upped our game. What's
Oh my god.
so? What's up? What's up next for you? Like, seriously, with you and Lizzie heading to. All right, I gotta take them off my fucking screen. Like,
You can't watch
I
anymore.
can't-
It's
yeah, okay.
distracting.
what's up for you guys as you get back from West Coast and then head over to?
Yeah, it'll just be like such a fast turnaround. It'll probably be beneficial for me because I won't be trying to like run myself into the dirt training that close up. So I'll like have some forced rest. So it's just me going out to West Coast. She's not going out there. I get back Monday and then we'll drive up to Knoxville Wednesday. We have a big house. And then just gonna see what happens that weekend. And then I think I'm going to the games for media.
No, I told you. I already picked you in the Heat One app. You are going. I picked you to win an event. Like, that's it.
I think I'm going either way. I think I'm going as I would like to go and help Savon or do whatever we can do there. And then I've got an athlete out in the West. So maybe, she qualifies. She's really good as well. And actually a couple athletes that just do Sentinel, competing out of the West too. But then definitely going to Italy later in the summer.
Yeah,
With-
good for you, dude.
Yeah, with my family, mom, my sister, her husband, and Lizzie, all going.
That'll
That's
be
fire.
fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
With your with Sentinel, with your training program that you have. So you created it with when you got hurt?
Yeah, I had just had that, come to Jesus moment with my boss where he's like, hey, you can't coach all the classes. You got to make some money. And we both like cried a little bit. It was, because he knew how much I was struggling, but also like we have other coaches, it's not all mine. And then hurt my knee and I was just kind of in this, what am I going to do now? And I talked with JR and I was talking with JR a bit, had the idea, talking obviously with Lizzie a lot, created it. And it's just grown and grown and grown and continue to grow. I think it's grown at a really steady rate. And then there have been moments like Taylor versus the World
Mhm.
and quarterfinals where it's just like,
Exploded. Well, now you got this too, dude. Don't forget to talk about this. This is
oh yeah.
fire idea. That is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
cool. You're giving away, or you're giving a scholarship to someone that you deem like you filled out an application, part of Sentinel training, part of your gym.
Yeah.
And what do you want this to grow to? Like, do you want to be able to give like 2-3 away a year, or right now it's just,
Lizzie and Bryson told me not to put this in the post, so I didn't, but I want to be able to give away one a month. would be like, yeah, I mean, I just like all these programs, like one, I don't know that they're doing a lot of stuff to meaningfully give back to the CrossFit community. You know, they do help with like charity foundation stuff, but that changed my life. Like the level 100% changed my life. So I know from firsthand experience, not some charity, and I'm not saying charities are bad. I just don't know anything about them, but I do know one thing about the level 1, and that is it completely changed my life. And if we could offer that opportunity to just, you know, a good person, I think that would be amazing. Someone reached out to me and was talking about taking their level 1 in Charlotte, and, you know, the conversation got rolling and I had the idea, and already picked the first person.
Cool.
So I'll make an
That's awesome.
announcement, yeah, in a couple days. And
Yeah, you say a lot like I do, like most people do, is that the level 1 weekend, there's nothing like it.
no,
There's
it's
nothing like it.
amazing.
And, you know, I don't know if you saw our chat with Chase or whatever, but we don't do CrossFit anymore. We haven't done it for a long time. And I kind of fell out of love with CrossFit when I became a coach and the environment that I was in. And then I was dealing with a lot of injuries myself, my back. I had hurt my foot in a double under random workout, and it was bothering me. And
Don't lie. Now we're doing it on the sly. Just don't do it in a like we literally are just hide in the back of the boxing gym and do.
Yes, we just started doing them again. But I talk about the fact that the level 1 weekend is something that even if you don't want to become a coach, that you should just go experience. And I feel like it might be something that I might need to go do again to try to find my love for CrossFit again.
Yeah.
Because I haven't loved it in a long time, especially when I became a coach or whatever. But hearing more people be like, yeah, that level 1 weekend is the shit. I'm like, yeah, remember that. When you created your program, did you always see like affiliate programming, personalized programming, games programming, mass? Like, did you kind of always see it grow to the masses, or did you have a single group that you wanted to work with first and then kind of allowed everything to kind of grow as is?
When I started it, I wanted it to be the best general program that anyone could follow, whether they wanted to be a competitive athlete or just basically someone who wanted good programming. Maybe their gym's programming stunk, or they worked out of a garage, but they didn't want to do like sandbag workouts every day. They wanted like good CrossFit. So that was like my dream from the start. And I wanted to offer like the best coaching, the most detail, the best value you could possibly get. And I wanted to undercut everyone else and charge way less. And I wanted to be like the most responsive person, like through our app interface or Instagram or whatever. If people had questions or needed help, answer it. But also like my main, like a big goal of mine every week, I write notes with each day of training, is to answer every possible question I could imagine someone would ask about a workout so that they don't have to ask it.
So it's almost personalized programming without personally training.
It's not, well, it's not personalized in the sense that I'm not writing weakness work for someone's individual weaknesses. It's a general physical preparedness program for competitors. There's a compete track and a 60 track. The compete track's like 2 to 3 hours of training a day. The 60 track is, generally speaking, you do it in an hour. And I have a lot of people that take the 60 track and use it for their affiliate programming. And I have a ton of people who just do it at home or do it in their gym. But it's not like watered down CrossFit at all. Like that's kind of like, it's kind of in line with like main site RX type difficulty. But yeah, you look at like every day on the 60 track, I have like 4 options. Like it's like, this is the workout. And then underneath it say, or ... modify to, and then a little bit easier of an option. And then below that, an easier option, below that, an easier option. And then you scroll into the next page and there's like, this is the intent and stimulus of the workout. Here are equipment substitutes, movement modifications, loading and volume modifications, like all.
That's awesome.
I just want to give people the best.
You give them a coach without a coach physically being there.
Right. I've always, like there are some main site write-ups that are just like, holy crap, they just did an amazing job of articulating how this workout should go. And I want to do that each day so that people are like, okay, this is exactly what I'm looking for in this workout. Makes it a lot easier for you to, get it in.
That's cool.
And then the last one, what do you guys do to like with all this stuff that we've already talked about, how much stuff you do and how many like hats you wear and whatnot? What do you guys do? What do you and Lizzie do to like decompress, or what do you do to decompress? Is there date night? Is there like just time where you put your phones away, stuff like that?
We do a date night every week, and it's not always the same night every week. But we also do like impromptu, like, hey, let's go out to eat. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. We definitely find time to spend together. We eat dinner together every night. So we sit down together every night, eat dinner together. And I think like I'm very fortunate that what I do allows me a lot of flexibility. So I can like be home whenever I want to be home. And that's most of the time that I'm not training or coaching at the gym. So we spend a ton of time together, which is great. In terms of me decompressing, it really is just my training. Like I love CrossFit so much that it still is that release for me. And I think there was a long time where I really related with you, where like I was falling out of love with it. Like when I hurt my knee that most recent time, like the worst thing is where like I'm going to coach a class, but I can't demo what the class is supposed to do because I'm fucking hurt. And that's just like a self-defeating, horrible feeling where like I just can't even do what I love. Fuck this. And I was, had so much of my identity wrapped up in being an athlete that like if I wasn't doing well, it would like, ruin my fucking day. And I think I've gotten back to just doing what I love to do, and that's work out and feel good when I work out and feel good after I work out. And I've had a lot of success with it over the past year. But that's a huge release for me is working out. So I think that's why I'm able to wear all these different hats around CrossFit, is because I really do love it.
That's really cool.
I talked with Sevan about this when he came on the show, and I was curious with it for you, and then I promise I'll let you go.
No, I have one question.
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
I don't promise. I lied. But you have a wife, you have a sister, you obviously train women and you are good with women. And I think sometimes people don't get to see that so much because of the, like I was talking about the,
persona.
Yeah, that persona that you have, that heel persona that you have. And I think that's sad because you've been absolutely like you've been nothing but awesome to me. Like you've been nothing but good to like, all the people that I know that surround me. And I can't say that enough. And I think that you don't get the like kudos and the high five or the pat on the attaboy that you
don't get the cred
deserve.
for it.
I appreciate that. I'm probably most proud of coaching Michelle. I would say actually that's been like the highlight of my CrossFit journey. She came to Charlotte where like not really any other coaches would give her the time of day. You could imagine an athlete who missed out the year before. She's an American with dual citizenship trying to qualify out of Africa. So you could have your own preconceived notions about that. And just being able to go through that journey with her and get her back to the games was an amazing thing. And her and my wife are best friends. So that, that was a cool thing that came out of that as well. But yeah, it was that coaching women it's different.
Yeah. Fucking is, bro.
I love when you guys all talk about you guys just start laughing and smiling like, yes, we're a unique breed. We are.
Yeah.
We're a special kind.
Yep. I'm sure Michelle won't care, but a lot of days where she's in tears because something's not going the way she wants it to go. And, it's important to be someone who's like, hey, it's it's not all about like your workout going perfectly that day. So I don't know. It's a weird balance of like during that time trying to balance the, hey, it's not worth it today. And also, hey, what you do and how you respond right now is going to, affect how you respond at the games or at semifinals when things get hard. That was probably one of the craziest experiences of my life is her semifinal qualification was just nuts.
Were you so proud? Are you just like,
yeah, proud, but also like the kind of the story was that she finished Saturday and it was the 2 back-to-back snatch workouts. I think it was the first workout of the day was semifinal Linda. She did pretty well in that. And she was in like first or I think she was in first after semifinal Linda. And then after the 1 rep max snatch, she was even more in first. And then she fucking bombed the 800-meter run sprint and was like 13 points behind the girl ahead of her. And then when she realized that, she was crying. She was like, it's not going to be enough. I could beat this girl in both the final workouts, the next 2 workouts, and it still wouldn't be enough because that's only 8 points. I might as well not saying this out loud, but I might as well quit. It's not worth it. Fuck, I suck. And that emotional turnaround, like me trying to say, hey, you can't worry about any of that. She could make mistakes. All you can focus on is winning the next 2 events. And also saying that is crazy at a semifinal. I mean, yes, it was Africa, but like the goal on the final day was to win the last 2 workouts.
Yeah. So what?
And just the whole, like, so going to bed, she's down 13 points, and over the night they had a scoring adjustment, and in the morning she was only down 7 points. So now she could win the next 2 workouts, and if the next girl took second in both, Michelle will qualify still. So like that gave her this spark of hope. And then in that seated legless workout, they got to the second seated legless rope climb, and Michelle went up to do her rep first, and she failed it, and she came down, and like you could just see the fucking tears start to come. And I'm like 20 feet away. The sideline was crazy. And then the girl behind her, or the girl in first, goes up and fails hers. And then the girl in third goes up and fails hers, and they all failed. Yeah. And so she's like looking at me, and I'm like, for like 2 minutes, like, just wait, screaming. And then she goes up and makes the rep just after the girl in front of her makes the rep. And then it's like a race to the rower. And then Michelle beat her on the overhead squats, won the workout.
Yeah.
And then going and winning the final. Yeah, it was crazy. It was just crazy how all that turned around. And that was a really powerful experience. Just being a part of that was crazy.
Well, congratulations, man. That's awesome. It's kind of like the oh shoot, what's her face? When we were rooting for her, we wanted her to go to the games. She was doing it was the overhead squat workout. Sam Breaks.
Oh yeah,
we won regional. Like we're like, yeah, she couldn't hold on. I was like, oh shit. But okay, go ahead, babe. Because
I forgot my question. Okay, that was fine. I totally forgot my question.
Well, if anybody's going over to Sevon's, please type in there like I should have freaking put the sound on. I didn't even put the sound on to see what the fuck he was saying. Tell him I said eat a dick. Like I got the screens now. My shit's on par. What's up? Nah, love him. No, eat a dick. No, I'm just kidding. So, dude, I can't wait to watch you. I hope I will obviously catch all of your Kill Taylors, and when you guys go to West Coast Classic, because that's gonna be fire. I know it. Is it you? Who's in the like booth with you? Is it Will?
JR. Me and JR and Will. Yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna do the same thing we did at Wodapalooza there, so we're stoked.
Are you doing cap, no cap? Are you bringing?
I don't know. I think maybe. I don't know what we're gonna. I have no fucking idea. We're gonna bring something back. So, yeah. I
love watching a bunch of white men do a segment called no cap.
Oh, that made me so uncomfortable.
That was fire. That was fire.
That was so good.
Wad Zombie Taylor, I love you. Let me give some shout outs real quick. Vindicate, Hiller.
No, we're not battling it out. Fuck off, Vindicate. Mine's better.
Rosie View. I still need to get Sentinel training. Go get that because that's fire. My girl Ellie Hiller, because I always have to shout her out. I'm excited for her. Won't come up now, but the only podcast I will watch live other than Sevon's. Thank you. Love you. Appreciate you. And Wad Zombie, make that Taylor card. I will totally buy like 5 of those. So thank you very much.
Let's do it.
Madeline Adams, Taylor, rooting for you so much, dude. Kick ass. And Wild Zombie's gonna heckle you guys. So there you go.
There you go.
Trish.
Oh my God.
Trish, the dish.
Just
I love you, Taylor.
Your identity.
Are you gonna? Do you know who it is?
No, I have no idea. Trust me, I've been trying to find out.
Me too.
I don't even think this is the original. I don't. I think this is a new. I think it's a new persona. Somebody brought it back. The original Trish is dead, dude. I don't think so.
I don't know. Her cadence is pretty well. Whoever it is studied the fuck out of the original Trish because that cadence is like fire.
Yeah.
Jeff Birch. Sorry.
Didn't see
I love you, Jeffrey #1. You're always my Jeffrey #1. And he also said, "What's up, thumb?" So the ginger thumb, the original. Thank you, bro.
Thank you guys for having me on.
It was awesome.
Thanks
I really
for coming.
do.
Nice to meet you.
Cool.
And good luck.
Yeah, go get him, Tiger.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
All right, I'll see you.
Oh, somebody did it. Okay.
Oh boy.
That was so fucking much fun. I
So
can't even
fun.
believe how much fun that was. I am so
Surrounded by gingers. You're destined to just always be surrounded by gingers no matter what. And so to have him on is super cool to
yeah, really appreciate all his time. He really didn't have to do that. And it was super cool of him to want to jump on so quickly.
Yeah.
Pause. But
there were a lot of pause moments that
There-
you didn't say
I
pause. So I
know.
just
left it. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I just let it go. Let it go.
TBD Athletics, great job with the shows. Thank you. I was
Thank
nervous
you.
as fuck for this one. But he was super cool and it was very
Oh,
fun.
Why were you so nervous?
I don't know. It's the thumb. Like
This is-
I don't know why. It just, but yeah,
They're all so
he was
so nice. They're
he was so cool. Yeah,
And I just
sweetheart.
yeah, and the biggest thing that I'm getting out of this is, before we went live, you were like, have you ever met my wife? And of course he's going to say no, because nobody knows me. They know you. So you're the face of all of this. If you come over here and hang out, then yeah, you meet me, you see me, that kind of stuff. But in the ecosystem that you have created, and
I didn't create shit. I'm just in it.
Not that you created, but that you've done the work
I'm
and
blessed
are
to be
now
able to,
a
yeah.
part of. You're the face. Everybody knows who you are. So as the spouse watching this all unfold and hearing from every single person,
it's cool. It's fun.
it's cool because they have their person behind them. And yeah, it's not always easy, but they figure it out.
Yeah,
but
the
they
wife talk
have-
was fun. Where's that? Rosie View. It's just Taylor. Yeah, I know. I feel you. I get it. But yeah, the wife talk was cool, and it really was like how involved she is, and
yeah.
you could even hear like he talks to her about everything
But
and
that's-
discusses everything
yeah,
with her,
And
that's fire.
what yeah, and we do that, and we you have the support of every single person has the support of their person, you know what I mean? And because it is all the time, and they figure it out. And for me as the spouse, I just love being like, I love hearing that side.
It's cool. Yeah, it was really fun.
One of these days I'll ask one of the wives to come on and talk.
Yeah,
with
we
us
got to
too.
talk to one of the wives if they probably don't want to though.
They
probably just wanna-
probably don't want to either. No.
But Jeffrey Birchfield, I hate I missed it. We missed you too, bro.
Yeah.
I was chasing the grandson and doing some. Well, that's because you're a man's man and you can do carpentry and things like that, and probably fix a Bronco too, right, bro?
For sure.
Like,
Vindicate, thank you.
do you have any photos from when y'all first met? I mean, yeah, you can scroll through my Instagram. It's pretty. Yeah, it was where are we at? 13 years ago we met, and our 12-year anniversary of marriage is coming up in a couple months. So
It is.
it's been
It
a
is.
while. Harley Mom, so good. You killed it. Thanks, guys. It was a
Thank
lot
you.
of fun.
Appreciate ya.
Extra sloppy. Always love it when I just like saying your name, Extra Sloppy, and it's just fun. Glad that you are gonna go support him because he's super cool.
Yeah.
And, all right, go fuck with Sevon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go chase my son around a little bit and have some fun. But
All right, guys.
thanks, guys. Appreciate all of you. Jeffrey Birch, we love you. Judy Reed, we love you. I love
Go-
everybody. Thank you.
Go
Kenneth, all
over.
everybody.
Hold
Go see-
on.
Oh.
Wednesday, go over to Jason CF Media.
Oh, yeah.
Support.
I'm
She's-
going on
she's
Jason
going.
CF Media on
Yep.
Wednesday. So if you guys
So
want to
go
come over
there
and mess with me over
and
there,
support
and-
her, support Jason, and Allison. I forget her last name is also going to be on there
Yeah,
with you. So
it'll be
go over
fun.
there Wednesdays. Go over there to support her, and we'll be back
All right.
over the weekend probably. All right.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Love y'all.